I'm sorry, Mr. Carter, but your account's on hold due to security protocols. No transactions can be processed. The teller's voice was flat, mechanical, as if Walter Carter, 76, had asked for the moon instead of his own money. He stood at the counter, hands gripping the edge, his weathered knuckles pale. A Vietnam veteran who'd served 3 tours, Walter couldn't fathom how a man who'd faced war couldn't access funds to save his wife. His pension had cleared that morning, same as every first Wednesday for decades. He'd checked online before leaving home, every cent was there. The money was for Ellen's new inhalers, prescribed after a night where her gasps woke him, her lungs weaker than ever. The doctor warned, delay could be fatal. The $450 withdrawal was routine, covering meds and copays, but today, it felt like a battle. Walter had banked with Unity Trust Bank for 40 years, outlasting tellers and managers. He'd shared coffee with old staff, Ellen's homemade pies during holidays. But the new teller, Brandon, barely out of college, wore his name tag like a crown. Walter handed over his card and withdrawal slip, expecting the usual nod. Instead, Brandon typed, frowned, and delivered the blow. There's a hold. A hold. Walter echoed, the words hollow. Ellen's breathing wasn't on hold. System generated, sir, Brandon said, as if that explained it. For your protection. Walter's chest tightened. Protection? From what? Keeping his wife alive. Can you call someone? He asked. Brandon slid a pamphlet across, its cartoon banker grinning mockingly. Call this number. It's policy 24 to 48 business hours. Business hours? Walter's voice cracked. My wife needs meds today. Brandon shrugged. No manager, no override, just policy. Walter sank onto a lobby bench, feeling smaller than he had in jungles or deserts. He'd faced enemies with rifles, but this enemy glossy brochures and red tape was new. His phone sat heavy in his pocket. Then, a memory sparked. Years ago, on a joint task force for disaster drills, he'd met Edward Langston, a high-ranking banker. Call this number only for a real crisis, Carter, Langston had said. When the system fails real people. This was it. Walter dialed, heart pounding. One ring. Carter. Langston's voice was sharp, familiar. What's wrong? Walter laid it out. The pension, the freeze, Ellen's meds, the teller's indifference, the absent manager, the 48-hour wait. Langston's keyboard clicked. Stay there, he said. It's a software glitch, not meant for pensions. I'm 6 minutes out. Click. Walter sat, torn between hope and doubt. Was he overreacting, bothering a CEO over a teller? But 6 minutes later, the bank's glass doors parted, and Edward Langston strode in, suit impeccable, eyes scanning like a hawk. He didn't pause, moving straight to Walter. Walter, he said, shaking his hand. I'm furious this happened. Langston turned, voice booming. Get your manager. Now. Brandon froze, stunned. Langston didn't wait, marching to the manager's office. MS. Diane Powell, returning from lunch, paled at the sight. MS. Powell, your office, Langston ordered. Bring Mr. Carter's file. Walter followed, Brandon trailing, looking like he might faint. Powell, flustered, clutched a tablet. Inside the office, Langston stood, unyielding. MS. Powell, explain, he said, voice low but lethal. This man, a decorated veteran, had his pension frozen by a glitch. He needed funds for his wife's critical medication. You gave him a pamphlet. Is that correct? Powell stammered, nodding. Brandon shifted, silent. Your job, Langston snapped, is to serve, especially veterans. Did you initiate a Directive 9B escalation? Brandon blinked. I don't know what that is. Then you're untrained, Langston growled. To Powell, and you're failing to supervise. This is a disgrace. He pulled out his phone. Lift the hold on account ending 7392, effective immediately. Run a diagnostic on the flag's origin. Priority 1. To Walter, your account's open. MS. Powell will handle your withdrawal. The bank covers your wife's meds today and her copays for a year. Walter's throat tightened. He'd led men through chaos, seen life and death, but this being seen, valued hit deeper. He nodded, unable to speak. Langston faced Powell and Brandon, eyes blazing. HR and regional ops will contact you today. Prepare for retraining her to justify your roles. This bank doesn't fail veterans again. To the staff by the door, systems are tools, not excuses. When they fail, we don't. Veterans come first. He left, the air heavy with his words. Walter withdrew the $450, bought Ellen's inhalers, and watched her breathe easier that night, her eyes soft with gratitude. Days later, Unity Trust launched a veteran support program training, liaisons, audits. Langston called twice to check in, unprompted. Brandon vanished from the branch. Powell improved under scrutiny. Walter resumed his quiet life, proud, heard, respected because one voice at the top cut through the noise.